again to today's Bracketology 2016 NCAA March Madness, best time of the year. First and second rounds tomorrow, Thursday, March 17th and 18th. Here I'll be talking about the West. This is the bottom left of your bracket, starting with the Oregon versus the Holy Cross and Southern. Clearly Oregon's going to win that one. Most questions I've asked are St. Joe's versus Cincinnati. So we'll go over that real quick. And thank you for joining the stream. Again, this is twitch.tv/Blanco138. Twitching all the time. But today I decided to just do a YouTube video, give you some excitement on my FIFA game while I'm at it. So, let's look at St. Joe's, which I haven't seen in the tournament in a long time. They're in the Atlantic 10, and let me just look at the standings for them. The Atlantic 10 has teams like Dayton, St. Bonaventure, VCU. St. Joe's is actually 4th in that division. VCU, St. Bonaventure, and Dayton are 3rd, 2nd, and 1st respectively. All posting a 14-4 record, with St. Joseph's 13-5. Really, this division, this is the division where George Mason comes from, LaSalle. But they're all, nobody. Fordham is in this. I don't know much about Fordham, but not a great basketball team. The only true team that came from this division, I think, is Davidson. At 10-8 in 2008, Stephon Curry made a name for them. VCU is always in there. Dayton's always in the first round and gets knocked out. St. Bonaventure, decent team. This division is an okay subpar team, I think. It's not great. Not going past first and second round. Except for VCU. VCU has done really well in the tournament. But we're talking about St. Joseph's here, and they're going against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has been in the tournament. They're from the American Athletic League, and which they moved. They used to be in the Big East. The American Athletic League this is the Temples, the SMUs, Houston, Tulsa, and UConn. Cincinnati is 4th in this division. Now, this division isn't good either, I don't think. Again, with Temple's RPI ranking this week at 60, Connecticut for some reasons at 32. I don't know why. But last week, again, these teams are below 50 in the RPI rankings. Dayton probably not much better, neither St. Joseph. But with that being said, I think that the American Athletic is a better division, just because SMU is a good team, Houston's a good team, Temple this year is a good team, Cincinnati's always been a good team. Tulsa's actually good this year. So you have 6 or 7 teams that are in you have 6 or 7 teams from the American Athletic in the tournament this year, which is good news for the division. Again, division not too strong, but if you have all these members, it says something about your division. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Cincinnati for this tournament here, even though they're the 9th seed over the 8th. 53% agree with me. Next, we're going to have Baylor versus Yale. This is a 5-12 team. A lot of people like the 5-12 upsets. I don't think this year is that year. Let me tell you something about the Ivy League teams. Ivy League teams do not have a tournament. So it's just a 2-round round robin. They face each other twice in the division. Whoever's the best team goes on and represents. I think they have the right idea, especially for the smaller schools. I think this is a great idea because in the smaller schools, you can have 10 teams in there that really suck, but there's one team that stands out and could go 1 loss, 2 losses, and be the best team, but not have a good tournament and lose the tournament, and now some other scrub team is representing that division instead of the team that should have been there. But I think the Ivy League has it right with the Yale. Has 1 loss on the year. But honestly, the strength of schedule here with the Ivy League and everyone else, not as good as Baylor. Baylor is part of that Big 12, and the Big 12 is big. I mean, the Big 12 is big this year. Teams like Kansas, West Virginia, Oklahoma, These are big top 10 teams in the NCAA. So I think with that strength of schedule, I think Baylor comes through with this. Their conference rank is 5 in that division, which is it's not bad. They're 10-8. But again, Yale, has. I don't think this is going to be that upset that you're looking at. So the next game I'm going to go through is, what's the next game on here? We got Duke at North Carolina Willington. I'm not even going to entertain that. Duke definitely. This is not even a bother. I'm just going to pick Duke. Another one that had people concerned was Texas and Northern Iowa. Again, Texas, part of that Big 12. Really good team. They're 4th in that division. They're looking outside at all these teams: Oklahoma, West Virginia, Kansas. So they have a pretty decent strength of schedule. Northern Iowa is tricky. They're in the Missouri Valley Conference. Now, if I'm going to look up this Missouri Valley Conference because they don't have anybody. I don't know anybody in this conference that ever comes out at me except for one team. Wichita State, those Shockers. Surprisingly, the Shockers are the top seed in this division, and Northern Iowa is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in this division. So I am guessing that the Panthers won the tournament in order to get in. Let me check that really quick. Yes, they did. Northern Iowa beat Wichita State in the in the second round. They beat Wichita State in final OT, then beat Evansville, which is a nobody, to win the championship. So they got in because of that. But they're a 5th seed. They were 5th in the division of a no-name division, which Wichita State was clearly the best team. So they got in just like that. And Wichita State did not get left out because Wichita State is good. But because Wichita State did lose to Northern Iowa, they ended up in an out bracket, which they won. So now they should have been where Northern Iowa was, pretty much. So it should have been Northern Iowa probably versus Texas. It should have been Wichita State versus Texas, I think. But because Northern Iowa won the tournament, they got the bid. That being said, I don't think Northern Iowa has what it takes. I think Texas is, they're 4th in that division, but it's a good division. Northern Iowa's division is not good at all, and they came in 5th or 4th or whatever it was. But that being said, we'll take Texas on for this game. Another good game is the Texas A&M versus Green Bay. Actually, this is not a good game. Texas A&M is a very, very good team this year, not in recent past, but Green Bay, no, I'm not even going to entertain that. So let's move on. Oregon State versus VCU. Now, this is a good one. Oregon State's from the Pac-12. Again, the Pac-12, really, really good division. Let's find out what Pac-12, where they were ranked in the Pac-12. Oregon State was 6th. They were behind USC. So they were 9-9 with 9-9 record. Oregon State doesn't look so good. But then again, VCU, even though VCU has had a good run in tournaments, they are in the Atlantic 10. And again, the Atlantic 10 is nobody. Again, Dayton, St. Bonaventure, St. Joe's. We just picked against St. Joe's. So I don't like this division at all. I don't think they have a good strength of schedule. So I think Oregon State has this game because they're in a that division. Even though they're like 6th in that division, the Pac-12 is probably one of the best divisions in NCAA. VCU, I believe they won the tournament because of that. I'm not sure. Let me check. Let me check this real quick. Did they win their tournament? They did. They did win their tournament, which is why they have a bid. They beat UMass, nobody. They beat Davidson, nobody. And they beat they lost to St. Joe's. Okay, so St. Joe's has the bid because they beat VCU. So these two teams aren't even in the top of their division. Atlantic 10. St. Bonaventure and Dayton have that. Actually, they're all tied at 14-4. So honestly, it's a bad division. I don't see anybody coming out of there. I'll take Oregon State. Next we have Oklahoma and CSU Bakersfield. That's just stupid. We got Oklahoma all day. Okay, and there you have it. I'm sorry it took 10 minutes, but that's your teams for the West. I hope you appreciate everything that that I have for advice, and leave a like if you like it. Thanks.